Does this move, combined with recent Chinese military harassment in the South China Sea, put an onus on the U.S. to respond? Let's discuss with Fox News senior strategic analyst, General Jack Keane. General, it's great to have you.
Good to be here.
From the Wall Street Journal today, China's plan to impose new controls on Hong Kong presents U.S. President Donald Trump with difficult choices between tolerating Beijing's strongest incursion on the territory's semi-autonomy and meting out punishment without hurting its largely pro-Western population. Is that correct, General Keane?
Yeah, well, clearly the Trump administration is already responding to this, and they've got this in the bullseye. They know that this is an attack on the very agreement that all the participating countries had that was going to last 50 years, and that was as one country and two systems. And by enacting the National Security Act, in addition to suppressing subversion and secession, it's terrorists and any foreign interference. So what does that really mean? That means that they can arrest anybody they want, imprison anybody want, and this is from the mainland. This is not about the local authorities, and they can deport any foreigner for whatever reason they can, because it's easy to label it foreign interference. So why now? What is really happening? They don't want a repeat of the momentum that the protesters had, who were able to get the extradition law repealed to their success, who were able to get many pro-democracy legislators elected to the Council of Legislation. And now that they're coming out of COVID-19, the Beijing and the Chinese Communist Party sees a repeat of all of that, so they're taking control away from local authorities, and they're cracking down, to be sure, and as part of a pattern, as you can see, as you mentioned in the introduction, Mike, from Japan all the way to Malaysia. But this is very focused against a pro-democracy movement in a country that has enjoyed freedom for many, many years. And what else is going on here? They are deathly afraid that what took place in Hong Kong could be transported to the mainland.
Right.
And we got to understand something, is that China fears their own people more than they fear any country in the world. It is their Achilles heel. And that is what has got their attention so much here. So it is an attack on Hong Kong's autonomy. It is an attack where they eventually take more control of the financial system. They are not as dependent on the financial hub in Hong Kong as they used to be. And if it had to go away, and we've got to understand this, and Hong Kong will change and not be the same city-state that we've seen in the past, that is okay with the Chinese Communist Party.
What?
Because remember, preserving the regime, Mike, is everything for them.
Sir, White House Economic Advisor Kevin Hassett warned today we could hit Beijing in the wallet.
I could say that that the Chinese move in Hong Kong is going to be very, very bad for the Chinese economy and for the Hong Kong economy. You know, Hong Kong's been the financial center of Asia for a very, very long time, and I don't think it will continue to be. And so that the costs for Hong Kong and for China are very, very large.
General, we're nearly out of time. Is that a smart option that will get Chinese attention?
The best thing to do is for the United States and our allies not only to condemn them, but take aggressive activity ourselves to impose economic penalties on the Chinese Communist Party. And we're already doing it, certainly moving in the right direction as a result of their deception dealing with COVID-19 and spreading it, an epidemic to a world pandemic. So accountability is coming, I believe, for the Chinese Communist Party.
All right, we have
All right, shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, BARAK, double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who grew well, peace and blessings to the rest of the hopeful elect, the men, women, and children of the house of Israel, who the Lord will have mercy on through faith. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Central Indians, you are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, you people of Negro and Indian descent. With that, I want to say shalom. And honestly, that video, I don't think it had nothing to do with the article that I was going to do the lesson on. I just was going to go into this article real quick because it was something about China warns U.S. against sparking a Cold War. But this video took it somewhere else. They talking about something internally with China and pretty much they power over Hong Kong and Hong Kong having the independence or whatever. So Shalaki on like the first 4 minutes. But anyway, I wanted to get into this actual article. This is from FoxNews.com. It says China warns U.S. against sparking a Cold War. I'm just jump straight into it. It say Wang Yi, the Chinese foreign minister, said Sunday that the U.S. should give up on its wishful thinking of changing China and avoid bringing the two countries to a new Cold War. They say China has no intentions to change, still replace the United States. He said, according to the Washington Post, it is time for the United States to give up its wishful thinking of changing China and stopping 1.4 billion people in a historic march towards modernization. Because basically, man, China, basically American dollar is crashing. You know, these other nations is not dealing with the U.S. dollar anymore because its value is dropping, you know what I'm saying, dramatically. So, you know what I'm saying, also the trade currency, China is trying to push, you know what I'm saying, that yuan is the new trade currency. You know what I'm saying, other nations depending more on gold, man. You know what I'm saying, so China, America, U.S. doesn't have that power and that control, you know what I'm saying, over, you know, pretty much the growth over the China economy, man. You know what I'm saying? To the point where they don't basically need America anymore, man. So you're seeing trade wars with China and the U.S., tariffs back and forth, man. It's a lot of, it's an economic war between America and China right about now, man. And China feel like they don't need America for anything, man. You need us if anything, man. You know, it says the relationship between U.S. and China has been strained for some time. President Trump has criticized Beijing over a trade imbalance and outbreak of the coronavirus, lead both to accuse the other of an improper response. Trump recently said that he may completely end U.S. funding for the World Health Organization over its cozy ties with Beijing. And Beijing, aka, is talking about China, just like if it mentioned Washington, it's talking about the U.S. You know, it says the White House has insisted that Beijing downplayed the virus threat in December, which led to a subsequent outbreak. China has denied the charge and accused Trump of shrinking responsibility to the organization, according to the AFP. The Post pointed out that a spokesman for Wang implied that American troops planted the virus in Wuhan. Stuart Varney, an anchor of Fox Business, and last week that he believes that the Cold War between the two countries has already started. He pointed to China's move to impose national security legislation on Hong Kong. So this is, okay, from the video earlier, this is what it's leading unto. You know what I'm saying? And also you got to remember, America is basically doing trade deals with Taiwan. And Taiwan is supposed to be under, or, you know, under, I guess you say, commission, you know what I'm saying, as far as getting commission and things like that with China, because they share the same, you know, sea coast and seaways and tradeways. And America and China not getting along, you know what I'm saying, but Taiwan is still dealing with America on a certain way. To make it on a low level, that's just like, you know what I'm saying, China and Taiwan is China's little brother, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the U.S., say America getting into it with China, they got into a fight or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna use it as women, because the Lord revealed it as women. Okay, so you got America, that's one woman. China, you know, that's one woman. Taiwan is China's little sister, you know what I'm saying? And basically, China and America ain't getting along at all whatsoever. But Taiwan, the little sister, still cool with America, or America is trying to be cool with Taiwan just to fuck with China. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of just like an iffy situation. You know what I'm saying? And China is coming down, you know, on Taiwan. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna bring conflict as well, because they share the same seacoast and things of that nature. So it's a lot of tit for tat on the American side of China. It's like just trying to cut America straight out. America is signing off on all these dropping out all these treaties and trade deals, etc. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna continue to read it. Say Chris Patten, the last British governor of Hong Kong prior to his handover to China, lamented what he called a new Chinese dictatorship. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has called the proposal a death knell for the high degree of autonomy Beijing promised the former British colony, and it was returned to China in 1997. They say we are trying hard to come out of the economic disaster, but a knockdown fight with China has been thrust upon us, he said. The takeover of Hong Kong is the writing on the wall. You know what I'm saying? So that shows that, basically China is, trying to do their own thing, basically, man. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to spark a new Cold War. You know what I'm saying? Where they gonna start fighting for other nations' development and things of that nature. That's why you see a lot of China been doing a lot of business over there in the continent of Africa. You know what I'm saying? They've been in talks with Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Other nations, man. That's probably are also enemies of America. But ultimately we in a time of war, man. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's what I'm getting into, man. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit. So I get a couple scriptures. Hey, because it's wars on different levels. America got their own set of problems. Hong Kong got their own. I'm talking about internally. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately they pushing this new world order, and it's just prophecies being fulfilled. Upwards of the people that's going on and everywhere, man. The awakening of the Israelites. So this is beautiful times that we in, man. This Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, concerning Edom, who is the Edomites mainly. This is being the land of Edom, mainly America. The strength of Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So you see that between the heathen is rising up against Edom. You know what I'm saying? Mainly the Edomites, those that's in power, the head banking families, the elites. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much it's a division. You know what I'm saying? Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. So that curse is falling back upon Esau. He's being greatly despised because he's being seen, like it's in Genesis 4 and 12, a fugitive, man. A fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. Man, these other nations are seeing it, man. So he's being greatly despised. People don't want to work with him no more, man. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Thou dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, which I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. So that shows you that the Yahweh Shema Rashah, ultimately the Most High, is sealing the destruction of these different presidents and rulers of these other nations that come up against Esau, and Esau doing things as well against them. Exodus 15 and 3, the Lord is a man of war. Hey, so the Lord said, rumors of wars and things like this was going to take place, man. So this is by the Lord's doing, man. I'm going to jump to 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Esau is being sought up. He being searched out ultimately by the power and the word of Yahweh Shema Shah. These prophecies is coming to pass, man. And Esau is going down. Verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee had deceived thee, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, because China and America used to be tight at one point, man. Everything here I see is built from China, Taiwan, etc. All those is China manufacturers, man. Built in Hong Kong. You know what I'm saying? But now they enemies. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I'm going to just keep it 100. That's just what it is. They had deceived thee, right? So America thought they was going to always have China in their back pocket. China like, no, we're going to do our own thing, man. We don't need you. You know what I'm saying? You need us, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're not changing no deals. We're not changing on the prices. We don't feel like we owe you this amount of money, etc., man. It say that we're at peace with thee, had deceived thee. And this is talking about America, who they was in confederacy. That means a union, you know what I'm saying, a collaboration, was in business with. It say, prevailed against thee, they eat the bread and have laid the wound under thee, for there is no understanding in him. So they understand there's no understanding in the Edomites. They greatly despise among the heathen. So there's rising up wars between these different heathen nations, mainly against Esau, Edom, a la America, and in Europe, because those are Edomites as well, the EU. So it's NATO and the EU, and basically against the world, man. But ultimately, they're going to all come together and fight against the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? But we in a time of war. You know what I'm saying? So we on the brink of multiple wars that's taking place. But it's all going to lead to World War III. All these nations are going to have their hand and they slice into this pie of destruction, man. It's this pie of Yahweh Shaphat, man. The Yahweh Shema Shah have already formed, like it mentioned in Joel, the 3rd chapter. Shalakia, So this is, hey, man. The Lord is basically, man, moving the hearts of these kings, man. Matter of fact, let me get that. What's that? No, it's in Proverbs. I'm tripping. This Proverbs 21, verse 1, the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. You know what I'm saying? Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the thought, his heart. So the Lord pondereth his hearts. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is pondering their thoughts. Every All the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. So the Lord got all these minds of these different kings or rulers of these countries all to turn against each other or pick sides and oppose one another, man. Ultimately turn against America, because America was known as a great city. It was known as a great nation at some point. You know what I'm saying? But not anymore. You see what I'm saying? You know, so that's what YAHAWASHI had prescribed for him, man. You know, this Psalms, and also they heathens, man. You know, outside the Israelite foreigners, the Gentiles that's mingled amongst the heathen, the Lord don't give a damn about the heathen, man. You know what I'm saying? Now they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, be ushers and servants in the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Some of them is gonna make it because they gonna build our walls. They gonna be the force of the Gentiles is gonna come. You know what I'm saying? But this is Proverbs 28:4. It say, give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their deserts. You know, hey, so they getting what they asked for, man. The Lord is rendering them, you know what I'm saying, the things they imagine in their heart, according to their wickedness, their endeavors, which is war. China think they got up next. China was because they oppressing the Israelites as well. You got a whole lot of melanated people over there in China, but you will never see them. They keep them pushed in the ghettos. You know what I'm saying? They keep them in the dark. They keep them hidden, man. So you got a lot of our people that's over there as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Give them according to their deeds and according to their wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them the deserts. Because you got to understand, all these other nations is just fighting to be the next Edom. Instead of Esau, these Chinese, they want to be, they ain't going to do nothing but just be another nation. But they going to do the same exact things Esau is, man. They just want to be the new Edomites, man. They want to be the new devils, basically in the world, man. So they think they have next by the way of their robotic technology, which that was part of that knowledge was going to increase, which is a part of the witchcraft, you know, the power that the Lord gave them, man. Fatness of the earth is artificial intelligence, man, which that's going to be bring life into the beast as far as our fighting microchip, you know what I'm saying, the hour of temptation, you know what I'm saying. You know, so at the end of the day, the Lord is giving them over. You know what I'm saying? He, like you see, gonna render them they deserts, man. Ultimate war. You know. Let me jump to Psalms, the 10th chapter. This Psalms, chapter 10, verse 1. Why standest thou far off, O Lord Yahawah? Why hideth thyself in a time of trouble? Which the Lord is not hiding it, so the Lord is revealing it, so. But he revealeth his secrets only to the servants, the prophets. So only the servants and prophets actually seeing and able to comprehend what's going on, man. Which we in the prophecy in the last days. Verse 2, the wicked in his pride do persecute the poor. Let them be taken in devices they imagine, man. Hey, right, so Esau's been to be taken in devices imagine. All these other nations finna get took in a device they imagine, man, which is carnality. They're not spiritual. Only spiritual people upon the earth is the children of Israel, man. Mainly the elect, man, because 2/3 of people is as heathens, man. They carnal. They have envied their oppressors. They have envied the heathen and etc., man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why YAHAWASHI is gonna imagine, you know what I'm saying, pretty much war against them. You know what I'm saying? So this is a time of war, you know. This Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The heathen is raging. They tired of this devil, like I brought out in Obadiah, the first chapter. They say it's no understanding in him. Those who's at Confederacy had deceived thee, man. You know? Why do the heathen rage? The people imagine a vain thing. It say the kings of the earth set themselves and rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. So even through all this, because the Lord is just working on their hearts to war against each other on the economic level, and it's going to get physical. But ultimately, they're all on the same court as far as oppressing the children of Israel, keeping certain things hidden, you know, coming down, you know, trying to break any type of freedom of speech, anything, because this is the way of the word, trying to control the internet. They're trying to have complete control, no more democracy, no more freedom. You know, all just to stop this word, man, this new world order. You know what I'm saying? So that's a counsel against the Lord's anointed. It say, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in heaven shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision, right? So the Lord is laughing. He's laughing because he understands what's taking place, and he knows what's going to happen. What's going to be the end finale. What's going to be the end result. The conclusion of this, man, is going to be great destruction and a beautiful salvation into the elect of the house of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to bind a lot of these kings of the earth, these other nations, and they're going to be servants of ours, and we're going to rule in righteousness under the word of the true power, the only God, which is the God of the Bible, Yahawah, who the world referred to as God, and YAHAWASHI, who the world referred to as Jesus Christ, man. You know? Then shall he speak it to them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure, which the Lord is doing. He got them in the trick pack, man. Ultimately, so the Lord's going to vex them with a sword displeasure. And he's going to do about what? They own devices in a way of war, man. You know, so I'll put that link to that article in the description box. You know what I'm saying? Yahawah Shema Rashad, this lesson was edifying. With that, I want to say shalom.